Good evening and welcome to a regularly scheduled meeting of the City of Hartford Common Council. All proper notices were sent. I'd like to call this meeting to order and ask if you'd please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Hello! I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Roll call. Shannon?
The mayor and all alderpersons are present except Alderperson Webb, who is absent and excused.
Thank you. We have before us a unanimous consent agenda.
Move for approval.
Okay, we have a motion for approval, second by President Rusnak, second by Alderperson Turchi.
Motion by Alderperson Rusniak, seconded by Alderperson Turchi, approving the following items on the unanimous consent agenda: the Common Council minutes of February 11th, 2025, and approving Osterbahn and Sons of Posen, Illinois, to complete the Jack Russell Memorial Library wood restoration project for a total cost not to exceed $169,000.
Thank you very much. Any comments, questions, corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Communication, Shanna.
So I'm seeking approval to do something we have to do every year, move the April 22nd, 2025 Common Council meeting to April 15th, 2025. That April 15th date is the third Tuesday in April, which is the required organizational meeting date. So I'm just seeking approval to do that.
Correct. We do that every time there's an election. That is a state statute. So Alderperson Kohler, second by Alderperson Turchi.
Motion by Alderperson Kohler, seconded by Alderperson Turchi, approving the moving of the April 22nd, 2025 Common Council meeting to April 15th, 2025.
Put that on your calendars, ladies, gentlemen. With that, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
No. Motion carried. Okay, we have several scheduled appearances. The first is the introduction of Police Officer Justin Bemis by Chief of Police McFarland, along with the administration of the oath of office by City Clerk Crowcan.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here tonight to introduce two of our new officers, 2.5 if you count our new K-9 officer as well. Tell you a little bit about them and we'll get them sworn in. I'm going to start off with Officer Justin Bemis. Officer Bemis is originally from Sheboygan, Wisconsin, where he was born and raised and has always wanted to serve his country, so joined the United States Marine Corps out of high school. Thank you for your service. He spent 7.5 years in the Marines with one deployment to Afghanistan in 2010 and 2011. After the Marines, he was hired as a police officer with the Village of Brown Deer in 2014 and spent 8 years there as an officer on patrol, also serving as an assigned shift leader and field training officer. In 2022, he was hired with the Waukesha County Sheriff's Department as a deputy sheriff, where he spent 3 years on patrol and also as a field training officer. He is a Hartford resident and has lived here for the past 8 years with his wife and his 4-year-old daughter. During this time, they have come to love the community here and have made it their home. He has always wanted to use his experience and knowledge of policing to help make the community where he lives and raises his family a safer place. He is thankful that the Hartford Police Department has given this opportunity, and we're thankful to have him. So, Officer Bemis.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Justin Bemis,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and comply
that I will support and comply
with the Constitution of the United States of America,
with the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the state of Wisconsin,
of the state of Wisconsin,
the charter, laws, and ordinances
the charter, laws, and ordinances
of the city of Hartford,
of the city of Hartford,
the rules and regulations
the rules and regulations
of the Hartford Police Department,
of the Hartford Police Department,
and the law enforcement code of ethics,
and the law enforcement code of ethics,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and impartially discharge
and impartially discharge
the duties of my office
the duties of my office
as law enforcement officer
as law enforcement officer
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Okay, that was fun.
Congratulations.
Even a dog likes you.
My son works at
Congratulations.
supporting Marines at Health Province, so. Not too far.
One down, 1.5 to go. Officer Joseph Kane will be the next one I introduce. Officer Kane, also a Sheboygan native, born there and moved to Franklin, where he attended Oak Creek High Schools his whole life and loved sports and spending time outdoors. In 2018, he went to college for firefighting, and while he enjoyed the program, he realized that firefighting was not his calling. Good for us. He loved helping the community and building construction aspects of the program, though, so he worked for Pieper Power. Pieper, did I get that right? Pieper Power, as an electrician's apprentice for 4 years. During that time, he began dating Lieutenant Zawicki's niece, Corin, who I got to meet tonight. As he spent time with Corin's family, Jim, Lieutenant Zawicki, had taught him a lot about policing, and it was through him that he truly realized that this is what he wanted to do. He loved helping people, and he felt that this was his way of serving his community. He chose Hartford because of the strong bond he observed through a ride-along here. The camaraderie of the department is like no other. He enjoyed being able to experience a city much like the one that he grew up in, full of rich history. Additionally, the hunting and fishing opportunities near the city are abundant, which is also true. He completed police academy at Fox Valley Technical College. He's one of the first that we sent there, so it was a little bit of a new experience for us as well, where he was elected class president and received the Craig A. Burkholz Memorial Award for Leadership Excellence. While attending police academy, he spent time outside of class, duck hunting with some of his fellow classmates. Joe has recently become engaged to Corin, and they are planning their wedding. Congratulations, by the way. Corinne, sorry. I knew that. I knew it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Corinne, where they are planning their wedding. They are looking for a house in the Hartford area. We just happen to be building some. I've got 4 plats in my office right now, actually. I could show you. He looks forward to serving the community in any way he can. Again, very fortunate to have this young man. We'll administer the oath now.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name,
I, Joseph Kane,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and comply
that I will support and comply
with the Constitution of the United States of America,
with the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the state of Wisconsin,
of the state of Wisconsin,
the charter, laws, and ordinances
the charter, laws, and ordinances
of the city of Hartford,
of the city of Hartford,
the rules and regulations
the rules and regulations
of the Hartford Police Department,
of the Hartford Police Department,
and the law enforcement code of ethics,
and the law enforcement code of ethics,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and impartially discharge
and impartially discharge
the duties of my office
the duties of my office
as law enforcement officer
as law enforcement officer
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Good luck, Joe.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Welcome aboard. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Officer Kane and Corinne. Our Canine Officer Ranger is our newest addition. Some of you may have seen him out there already. Some of you may have read about him on Facebook. We're very proud of some of the work that they've done thus far. But Canine Ranger comes to our agency with 4 years of previous experience from the Cedarburg Police Department. He is a dual-purpose canine in his training that specializes in narcotic detection, handler protection, apprehension, article searches, and scent-specific tracking. Over his 4 years of previous service, Ranger has achieved many awards and accolades in state and national competitions. And if you want to take a look at them, when you walk into the office, they are all over the wall near Officer Schnacky's desk area, so it's kind of a cool thing. K-9 Ranger has been deployed approximately 300 times. Before coming to Hartford Police Department, he has assisted in finding lost people, criminals, and dementia patients that have gone missing. He is responsible for multiple drug seizures and arrests. During his days off, he enjoys playing with his 2 other dog brothers at his home. And some of his favorite things are pup cups and playing fetch with any willing person. This I can attest to. Just slobber on my leg, but we'll do the oath.
How's he gonna repeat? Yeah.
Raise the paw.
Speak. I think she can read it straight through this time. Oh.
Look at that.
Okay, that's cute. Nice touch.
No, you don't.
Don't take the ball.
Raise your right paw and repeat after me. I state your name.
Park. 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 Park.
No.
Park. Park. Okay.
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support and comply
that I will support and comply
with the Constitution of the United States of America,
with the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Wisconsin,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Wisconsin,
the charter laws and ordinances
charter laws and ordinances
of the city of Hartford,
of the city of Hartford,
the rules and regulations
the rules and regulations
of the Hartford Police Department,
of the Hartford Police Department,
and the law enforcement code of ethics,
and the law enforcement code of ethics,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and impartially discharge
and impartially discharge
the duties of my office
the duties of my office
as law enforcement officer
as law enforcement officer
to the best of my ability,
to my best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God. Work. 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 No. Bark. Bark. Clap for me. Bark. There it is.
There you go.
One thing I'd like to quick mention is Officer Cole and Shinaki had gone over to the fire department for K-9 rescue training, and we just happened to use it a few nights ago, maybe a week ago now, because the one who likes playing ball happened to get something stuck in his throat, and they had to use that training to save his life. So he's here with us today due to that, the good training that they had over at the fire department. So kind of a neat story, but appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much. Next, we have the mayor's report. And Chief, I thought when you said he was dual purpose, I thought you meant police and fire. So, that would have been kind of neat. But hey, what the heck? For the mayor's report, my thanks go out to all the people who worked on Iced on Main. We actually had weather that held the sculptures for quite some time. Normally, they're by the second day they're a puddle. It has been, but these really held out. So I thought it was a wonderful event. So thank you very much to all of those who put the effort together. I think it's a special thing that we have every year that bring people into Hartford and see why it's such a wonderful place to work, live, and play, which is a nice thing. Going beyond that, next aldermanic request, President Rusniak.
Just hearty congratulations to Justin and Joseph and Ranger. Welcome aboard.
Thank you, Alderperson Reagan.
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Alderperson Curley.
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Alderperson Garza.
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Alderperson Turchi.
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Alderperson Savage.
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Alderperson Kohler.
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Alderperson Fulop.
Nothing tonight.
Okay, with that, we go to public hearing. This is an ordinance creating Chapter 47 of the Municipal Code entitled Comprehensive Zoning Authority. We do have, I'll even get his name right this time, Justin Moss. So thank you. Jacob Moss. That was a joke, by
Nice
the way.
try.
Yeah. So Jacob Moss, our city planner, will be with us. I'd like to open the hearing and ask for a reading of the notice.
Please take notice that pursuant to Section 62.23 Sub 7 of the Wisconsin State Statutes and Section 52.302 of the City of Hartford Municipal Code, a public hearing will be held at 7 p.m. or thereafter on February 25th, 2025, in the Common Council Chambers at the lower level of City Hall, 109 North Main Street, by the City of Hartford Common Council to consider the following: an ordinance to create Chapter 47 Comprehensive Extraterritorial Zoning Authority. The purpose of this ordinance to retain provisions related to extraterritorial zoning that were part of the repealed Chapter 13 City of Hartford Municipal Zoning Code. The purpose of the public hearing is to hear those persons who wish to express their opinions for or against the requested zoning code amendment in accordance with Section 66.035 with stats. A copy of the proposed ordinance can be viewed at the Planning and Zoning Department, 109 North Main Street, Monday through Friday between the hours of 7:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. Phone number is 262-673-8272. This is dated the 7th day of February, 2025, and this was published in the Daily News on February 7th, 2025, and February 14th, 2025.
Thank you very much. Next, we have explanation hearing by staff person, which would be our city planner, Moss, and he will begin by reading Chapter 47.
Yeah, if you want me to read it. No, this went before the Plan Commission on February 10th. Was approved and recommended to the Common Council. All this is taking the former Section 13.1702 of the Municipal Code, which was repealed, and now creating a separate chapter for the intergovernmental it's the intergovernmental zoning code mostly for the city or the town of Hartford. We have a separate language that isn't in the code that is for the town of Rubicon, but this is for the town of Hartford. And it coincides with the 2018 intergovernmental agreement between the city of Hartford and the town of Hartford. So that's why we're doing this.
Thank you very much. At this time, we will go appearances for the adoption of Chapter 47. Appearances for. Last call appearances for. We'll move on to appearances against. Anybody against our Chapter 47? We like that number, 47. Chapter 47. Chapter 47, any against? Hearing none, discussion by council. Any questions for staff? It's pretty black and white. We've gone over this ad nauseum. Okay, with that, we have the closing of the hearing and ask for action on ordinance number 1505, an ordinance creating Chapter 47 of the Municipal Code entitled Comprehensive Zoning Authority. We have Alderperson Regan, second by Alderperson Curley.
Is this to suspend the rules?
I'm sorry?
Is this to suspend the rules?
Yes.
Of course.
Okay. Motion by Alderperson Regan, seconded by Alderperson Curley to suspend the rules for immediate consideration of proposed ordinance 1505.
For suspension, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. And Alderperson Regan, Alderperson Turchi.
Motion by Alderperson Regan, seconded by Alderperson Turchi for the adoption of proposed ordinance number 1505.
Okay, any further discussion, questions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. We go on to standing committee reports. We have nothing actually listed unless any of the chairs of Finance, Personnel, Public Works, and Utility care to bring something up. I don't see anything, so we go to item 11, resolutions and possible action thereon, starting with Resolution 3717, a resolution to accept funds from Washington County Emergency Medical Service, EMS, and Fire Grant Program. And with that, we have our chief, Tony.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So this grant is the second for 2 years in a row. The last grant for last year, 2024. I would like to let you know that you were the only municipality in the county that used the funds appropriately. So a job well done to you and much appreciated for doing so. I don't know status for this year, but I know for 2024, you did it correct. So thank you for doing that. The funds for this year, we're looking to continue on with other needs that we have in the department. So I thought I'd update you real briefly on what we spent some of the funds on from last year.
You have
We-
3 glorious minutes. Go ahead.
Perfect. I'll keep it short. Here we go. The UTV project, the all-terrain vehicle that we have, was a CIP project for 2027. We had set aside $40,000, so instead of having that in budget dollars, we're paid for out of this grant. The fire station remodel, we added an extra $10,000 into. We replaced all of our expired fire helmets that were in our stock. We added approximately 7 sets of structural turnout gear. Comes at a price of about $1,300 per piece. Added additional boots and gloves. We added a safety vest for every one of our members. We added some headsets that were not functional on our ladder truck, and then replaced 7 outdated computers. So with all of that, would not have been possible in one budget year without those grant funds. So going forward for 2025, we have some big needs. The county radio project is currently ongoing and replacing all of the mobile and portable radios. But what it doesn't replace would be things like the microphone on it. Out of our 40 portable radios, approximately 25% of them are broken. So approximately $39,000 are needed to replace them. What great dollars are utilized to replace those items. Continuing on with our turnout gear replacement, phasing out all the outdated gear, and then adding additional fire hose. Those are some things off the top of my head that we need to replace. When we have a structure fire, we actually have to pull an engine out of service until that hose is washed and cleaned and dried. So I'd like to add some spare stock so that we can just restock it right away and be ready to go. So those are some needs we have off the top of our heads if you would approve this grant dollar.
Okay, any questions for the fire chief?
Tony,
Yes.
is this
Alderperson
the
Rosen.
final grant? We're not getting any more after this? This is it?
To be determined. So in those original meetings that were set up, my understanding is that it would be 2 consecutive years, and then any further years would be based on the consultant's report. So the report from all 13 fire service entities is currently ongoing. A healthcare company, Healthcare Solutions out of California, I believe it is currently working on that consult report and believe they want that released sometime this summer. Future dollars will be based on however that report dictates.
Can we make sure that we are, we already have 1 year in the can as regards to the only fire service that spent it appropriately. So if we do it again, we would be the only one who have 2 years of spending it appropriately, and I would hope that that would go in our favor for year number 3.
Right.
So, yes, Alderperson Curley.
Are we throwing in everything but the kitchen sink
Everything in the kitchen sink to
to apply? Or
Oh, yeah, so this one was a back-to-back and automatic effectively for being in Washington County, and all the other grants we're still applying for, so we're absolutely hoping to get grant dollars for absolutely anything we can.
Super. Any other questions?
Keep in mind that the amount is already been dictated. It's not like a growing grant based on what your needs are. It is, that they've already dictated, here's how much you're going to get, here's how much each community is going to get, just like they did in 2024. And so it's not a situation where, again, but in 2024, we received the grant, you approved the grant, and we just handed the check over to Tony and said, do with it what you had already planned to do with money in the future.
okay.
Tony, who writes our grants?
Well,
Or-
it's really do you want it? Sure, here you go.
Okay.
And there is no really grant, there is no accountability, there is no verification of what you spent it on. It is exactly just that, it's just free money from, that the county is handing out to every municipality.
Right.
But as Tony said, we were the only ones who literally used it for what the title of the grant said.
Thank you. Okay, we look for a motion to approve. Alderperson Curley, second by Alderperson Garza.
Motion by Alderperson Curley, seconded by Alderperson Garza for the adoption of proposed resolution number 3717.
Any further questions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Super. We have resolution number 37, oh, by you and your kids have to stay here, by the way. 3718, a resolution authorizing the city engineer to serve as the city's authorized representative with regards to actions pertaining to application and administration of an urban non-point source planning grant application. There is an executive summary attached, and I believe this was just passed unanimously. So by our committee before this. So go ahead, please.
Good evening. I did have some slides that aren't currently on the monitor, so I'll just do some different descriptions instead of showing you the visuals that I had planned. But essentially, this resolution is simply to approve and authorize city representative for the application and administration of the stormwater grant in aid to achieving the MS4 compliance. And just for your reference, MS4 is a federally mandated program to improve water quality, and it stands for Municipal Separate Storm Sewer Systems. The Urban Non-Point Source and Stormwater Grant refers to water pollution runoff in urban areas that doesn't originate from a identifiable point such as a pipe. So runoff from agricultural pesticides, oil or salt from the roadways, fertilizer from lawns, toxins from industrial sites, sediment from construction sites, and so forth. So that stormwater runoff can enter directly into the waterways, and we need to implement these measures to protect the waterways. So this is a state mandated requirement that we appoint a representative from the city, and staff recommends that the Common Council authorize a city engineer to serve as a city's authorized representative regarding these actions pertaining to the application and administration of the grant.
Thank you very much. Any questions for our?
Can you guys
city
see
engineer?
what we're looking at? Oh, you
Yeah.
could. Oh, we just couldn't see it over there. That's
Oh,
what
okay,
threw
yes,
us
you
off.
can.
on
It's on.
Okay,
Popped up.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
as you can see.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a little more.
Actually, that's funny. So, any questions for our city engineer? If not, looking for a motion? Alderperson Savage, President Rusniak.
So Rusniak and then Savage, or Savage?
What's
and then-
Savage and
Savage
Rusniak?
first, ladies
Okay.
first.
Motion by Alderperson Savage, seconded by Alderperson Rusniak for the adoption of proposed resolution number 3718.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Thank you. Next is resolution number 3720. Resolution authorizing the city of Hartford to apply for the Urban Non-Point Source, WENR, and Stormwater Program Planning Grants to develop a stormwater quality master plan to aid in achieving MS4 compliance. And please define MS4. So I hate when they do that when I do. So anyway, please, yes, if you could do that.
Sure. So again, this is related to the same exact
Yes.
grant. And what you're seeing on the screen is essentially just an example of the first few pages of the grant application itself. This is where we enter location, watershed data, water quality needs, scope, cost, et cetera. The next slide here is a flow chart of showing the sequence of steps that occur as part of the cost share reimbursement process. So this particular resolution is for the approval of utilizing excess borrowed funds from 2024 in the amount of $85,000 as a match for this WDNR grant if awarded. So we need to match that amount that they would provide to us, and if it's not awarded, this money would not be used. So therefore, staff recommends approving the transfer of $85,000 of unspent 2024 borrowed funds to the stormwater utility to be used as the said match for the grant.
And MS4 compliance is,
You want to,
it reads, to develop a stormwater quality master plan to aid in achieving MS4 compliance.
yeah, MS4 is a municipal,
Stormwater.
separate stormwater systems.
Okay.
So it's just,
And again, it's a 5-year cycle in which we are in. So right now, we're in the 2024 to 2029 cycle. And every year, they look to reduce the amount of contaminants within the stormwater system. And to do that, you basically have to look at different ways in which you can, again, filter the water in different ways. Stormwater ponds is obviously one of the big ways in which we do so. And so the DNR is going to look at, okay, we're going to put a new stormwater pond, either a wet or dry pond, for runoff and such to filter before it gets back into where we discharge into, which of course is the Rubicon River. And so this is what the study will do, is we'll take a look at all the watersheds in which all of our water goes, and then be able to identify where ideal locations are for stormwater ponds in the city.
Thank you. Okay, would look for a motion to approve. What? Oh, with
Quick
questions,
question,
sorry.
yeah.
Go ahead.
How compliant are we currently?
We are currently non-compliant, but we're on the verge and we're working very closely with DNR to achieve compliance.
Okay.
The DNR police is waiting outside for you with a
With some
blaze
data.
orange jumpsuit. You'll be fine, Tony. No, but in reality is the mayor is very familiar with the fact that we have had a couple phone calls with the DNR regarding our permit. And the situation is that most communities are non-compliant for different reasons. It could be runoff from farm fields. It just so happens to go into our watershed, and somehow there's supposed to be a reduction in contaminants. So we're not alone by any stretch of the imagination. We're just working towards hopefully getting compliance in 24 through 29 through these processes.
And it's an interesting point, too, when you look at this, there's not too much we can do with stormwater when we're working on this, or the runoff from a field or something, but if you look at what we do with our water treatment, we actually clean the Rubicon River, because what we put in that river is cleaner than the water that is traveling by that pipe. So I think we have a pretty good record when it comes to that. Now we just have to make sure that all the cows line up and, do what they need to do somewhere else.
One thing is that also to keep in mind for residents, if someone talks to you about it, but now that we are done with the winter, that 1 week that we had this year, is look around the sidewalks. If you have somebody who's just laid it with salt, try to sweep that up and get rid of it, because that's one of the major contaminants in
Yes.
stormwater.
Yep.
True. Thank you very much. Okay, looking for a motion to move forward. Alderperson Regan, Alderperson Kohler.
Motion by Alderperson Regan, seconded by Alderperson Kohler for the adoption of proposed resolution number 3720.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Last one, Resolution 3719, a resolution authorizing the City of Hartford to enter into a developer's agreement with Home Path Financial Limited Partnership for the development of the Harvest Creek subdivision. And it looks like we have our city planner back, Jacob Maas.
Good evening again. So this is a developer's agreement with Home Path Financial for the Harvest Creek subdivision. Again, that's about 41 single-family units, 16 of which are the attached townhouse style. That preliminary plat was approved earlier this year. This is just our generic version. It's been worked with the city attorney as well as the developer to get the language that's appropriate. You also have the surety in this document for your review as part of this developer's agreement. So we're just looking for approval of the developer's agreement. And again, it's been reviewed by the city attorney, and it went before Public Works earlier tonight.
Okay, any discussion, any questions for Jacob Maas? Hearing none, would look for a motion to approve. Alderperson Phillip, Alderperson Kohler.
Motion by Alderperson Fulop, seconded by Alderperson Kohler for the adoption of proposed resolution number 3719.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. No. Motion carried. We skip down to item 13, the city administrator's report to discuss the new housing fee report. Under Wisconsin statute 66.10014, there is no action required, so we just hang on every word of our city administrator. Oh, no, you're not doing it?
I can
Jacob
do it.
Maas, we get
Yep.
to hang on your words. Okay, wonderful,
All right.
thank you.
So statutorily, by state statutes, we're obligated to do this every year. This is the 2025 version, which looks at 2024 data of the cost to do development in the city. The kicker on it is Wisconsin State Statute 66.10014, which states if a fee or amount of fee under subsection 2A is not properly posted as required under subsection 3A, the municipality may not charge the fee. So we have a thorough listing of all our fees to make sure we can charge them to the developer. But again, it just covers, it's just informational. It was kind of developer driven on making it more transparent for developers on what are the costs to develop in a city.
Okay, and the executive summary obviously attached is in the record, so for anybody who's really interested in all
Yep.
those fees and all that, that is something that you can look up easily enough. Yes, go ahead.
One thing to add
please.
too is Alderperson Fulop had asked the question about how our fees stack up to other neighboring communities, things like that. Again, the two big fees that we charge when someone builds a house are going to be your rec fees to hook up to the sewer, which is based on the overall cost of the existing space in the capacity in the sewer system. And then the second thing is the park fees. So again, your impact that you have on parks. Other communities can have other things. They can have fire impact fees, police impact fees. They can have library impact fees are quite common. So anyways, these all add up. So on an example of a house, say, let's just say $200,000 to $400,000, total fees can be anywhere, building permits and everything else that goes into it. Total fees can be somewhere around $11,000 to $12,000 on a $300,000 house. But I just want you to know, again, we are right in line with most other communities. The biggest fee that they have is that rec fee for sewer hookup. Again, besides that, there's nothing out of the ordinary that's in our fees, so.
I do have one question. Where can you buy a new house for $300,000?
A new house for $400,000,
No, for $300,000. You said for a $300,000 house, new house, and it's like sold American.
Are we getting close?
You got some going around 320.
Yeah, the
A&N's division.
Sky Park,
Yeah.
Sky Park, those went for 320.
Yep,
Well,
316.
that's close. That's close.
Yeah.
That was close, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's all we have to do unless anybody has a question for our city planner or our city administrator.
I gotta,
Please, go ahead, President
I
Resniak.
read through that whole thing.
Yeah.
Let's say I want to build a big addition to my house. I take out a permit. Is that good for 2 years?
Generally, it's good for 1 year, and then, yeah, and then you can retake it out.
Well, we've got 2 homes in the city that I know of that have been under construction for 2 years, maybe longer. What are we doing about those?
So every year they have to get new permits.
They do.
And they're made aware of this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's
Okay.
some who've been 10 years,
Yeah.
11 years.
Okay.
One of my neighbors.
Home on East Luce that's probably been 4 or 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
And it's still nowhere's near done.
yeah.
Nowhere's
Now,
near done.
now, keep in mind, it is still considered in building if they put up 1 2x4 at any point in time within that year. They're still
He
building.
knows that.
Take a picture.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wonderful, thank you very much. I do also want to extend a hello to our officer in the back. This is the first meeting I've ever seen, and considering that the police took about half of the meeting time, that we've actually had 3 different officers come in, so showing how interesting we're making these meetings and that they're fighting for a chance to come in and sit at our meetings.
Right.
That's-
I don't think that's how it's working.
Either that or they're losing bets.
Or they're losing
Go to the
bets.
bathroom.
Better
Just-
idea.
Just wanted to make note of that. Okay, thank you very much for adjournment. Alderperson Savage, Alderperson Fulop.
Motion by Alderperson Savage, seconded by Alderperson Fulop to adjourn at 7:37 PM.
For adjournment, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
No? We stand adjourned. Thank you.
Wayne, do you remember a comedian named Jackie